Were you?
No,
Last time you were there?
no.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Wondering what
I
happened?
I went out.
Somewhere enjoyment. So don't worry. That's the whole idea of this life. Enjoy somewhere. Okay. So guys, welcome everybody. Another session which is only going to help us to discover something new about ourselves and in general about people or humans. And we are trying to understand things which are not very evident for us, the emotional self and the spiritual self and the energy self. So many things we've been discovering. And is it all we are? No, it's not. Whatever we have discovered is very, very little. But at least whatever we are figuring out is giving us some kind of a high about us, and it feels nice, right? And we don't know where these things invoke talent, capability, abilities in us. Because once you learn cycle for your life, you have learned. And once you have learned swimming, you've learned it. But when will you use it? When you're in the water only, right? So these are like that. You learn, you understand, you feel something different. You may never use it, but someday you might use it. Or some way it might invoke some things in you or affect, give something for you that suddenly makes a difference. And all the people who are here, it's coincidence. It's definitely no coincidence. And going a little further in that, I'm sure that there is something of help or something to do with what we do today is for all of you who are here. And the others who are not attending, maybe it's not for them, or maybe they already know much more about this. Whatever that is, we are here and let's enjoy it. Okay? I want to be as much as possible interactive. I want my this particular Tuesday evening meet to be so interactive that we all learn from each other. Okay, so don't think that you are here to listen something, do something. Yeah, the least is that, but you are also here to teach something. Let's be at that level. Okay. Now let's start. Today's topic is basically to connect ourselves with our spirit self. Okay. And all the different things which the spirit self offers for us. So for the couple of coming next weeks, we will be doing these different varieties of this. Okay. And so today we will first start with what is spirit? All of you, whoever here, whatever you think about the spirit, our own spirit, okay, or what you think about spirit in general. Tell me. One sentence each of you, if you tell me, that'll be really good.
Gita here, a guiding angel.
Geeta.
Yeah.
Okay, spirit is a guided angel for you. Okay. Yeah. iPhone. I'm guessing it's...
That's Ritika. I need to figure out.
Go ahead. Now that I know, iPhone is Ritika.
Okay, so as you mentioned in one of the sessions, spirit self is that which is above our 7 chakras. So I think beyond the physical, I would say the metaphysical higher consciousness of us.
Okay.
Metaphysical energy of us.
Okay, that's also one of the definition. Anyone else?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. It could be state of a human being as a spirit of that person.
Okay, that's also true. The state of the human being is I am in my high spirits. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how we talk in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
So it's a state of the mind. Yeah.
The
Okay.
emotional part of a person, like the emotions a person has.
So what happens is usually emotions doesn't come part of the spirit self.
Mhm.
Emotion itself is one body of you. Like how spirit is one body of you. Of course, emotions are scattered everywhere in all the part of you, let me say. So even the spirit self has a part of the emotions too, right? But are they two superimposed body? We don't know. We just don't know. But that's what it is.
It's a
Kavita.
life force vibrating at different level.
Yeah, that's 100% true. It is a self of us which is vibrating at a different level. This is very dense, body is very dense. So its vibrations are different. It's a very dense vibration. Spirit is you again, which is vibrating at a different frequency. That's why it cannot be seen. It's like air and earth. Correct? Yeah.
Isha, spirit is, I would say, spirit is something, it's like your soul. That is your spirit.
Okay. So, different school of thoughts have different things about souls and spirits. Okay. I would want to segregate both.
Okay.
Spirit,
Right.
Spirit is more of you as a human. It's so human. Whereas soul is very at a higher level, which is not human, which is more of divine, is what I want to segregate. The moment it segregates some of your concepts, it's very well.
Right. Yes.
So for the reason of my logical mind, I would like to separate them like that.
Okay, great.
But even if you want to put them together, maybe, because who's there to prove it, right? So it should be fine too. Okay, let's see what some people have put in there. Rama says consciousness, individual consciousness. Yeah, consciousness includes the spirit, but consciousness is even bigger than the spirit. Consciousness is finally, it is the universe, creator. Spirit is part of it. Okay.
Yesenia,
Go ahead.
Spirit is not soul, but is close to soul. That means our higher self is a very big energy. So it has to step down like a transformer to a smaller level for our body to accommodate. And that is the guiding of the soul, which is also like just now what you said, it has some impurities as well because it is inside the body. You see?
Absolutely.
So this is the understanding I have about spirit. But it's very pure and divine.
You're absolutely right. That's what I think too. Okay. So maybe I will explain a little bit, all of you, what I think. It's again, I'm telling you what I think, what I have gathered from whatever I have learned from teachers and from read and all of these things. Okay. Can all of you mute, because I don't know where to mute. Okay, so you mute yourself. So let me explain a little bit and just tell me whether this resonates with all of you. Even if it doesn't resonate right away, keep thinking about it, because somewhere all our logic and what we have learned will fit into this model. Okay, so this seems like easy, If you believe this, you agree to this, then so many other concepts which you have read and heard seems to fit into this. So that is why I would like to believe this. Now let's say this is the huge higher self. Okay. Do you all see whatever I'm writing, etc.? Okay, this is the higher self. What is higher self? Assume higher self is a huge sea of soul. I have a separate higher self. Pala has a separate higher self. So how many people here we are? There are that many higher selves. Okay. Now this higher self is actually soul, which has agenda at the soul level, which are learning at the soul level, and which can sit in different levels, like 4th level, 5th level. You know, you might have heard this angel is from the 8th ray of something like that. They talk, right? So there are several layers based on your earthly experience, how much you have grown, how much you have learned. Based on all of it, also depending on the karma, whatever, your higher self belong to a level. Now, this is the earth plane. Hold on a minute. I want to draw now. Okay. So this is the earth plane. Okay. Below this is the earth. Above this is the other side, or whatever you call it. And this is the bardo. This line is the bardo. Let's say that way. Okay. Now, there are people here. So there are people who have been born. Let's take so many such people. Okay. Okay. Now this person name is, he is Ram. Okay. Now, part of this soul, a part of this soul incarnated as Ram here, chose a specific parents and he incarnated as Ram. So as part of it, he had learnings to do, learn to feel unconditional love, all of it. And he was Ram here. Okay. Now, Ram was supposed to learn unconditional love. And so his life was very, very tough as a motivational factor for him to learn that. But for whatever reasons, Ram could not learn it. And he still had a lot of regrets, guilts, and so many other things, which remained to be unfinished job. And he was not so happy. So when he dies, he wouldn't retrospect. Ram wouldn't retrospect. And so a part of him may go back, or a part of him might remain here. This is the spirit part. So spirit part will have the imprints of the recent lives on the plane, and it might be resolved, in the sense retrospected, or might not be digested based on the way he died and based on all the things he had in his head. So sometimes a part goes, sometimes whole thing remains here. If the whole thing remains here, there are high chances that it will be reborn again, continuing the life of the Ram with a lot of confusions. So the whole idea is it should go back, and then with the extended understanding of what was remaining, what needs to be learned extra, he should be born as someone else here. Okay. So again, a part of the HS will come. Now the thing is, will this HS, many chunks can be born separately? Possible. If that HS, higher self, has fast learning, then it might happen. That's how population probably increases. Okay. Now, when they're supposed to be born here, they have set of things to learn, right? I need to learn to understand how people will feel guilty, or if you're critical about others, how, or to feel loved, or to support yourself, to be courageous. All of these things are learnings we need to learn. That's our agenda. So we make those things as life plans and we come here. Now, but we are very lazy people and we forget. When we are born here, we forget the life plan. So what do? We need something to keep on reminding us, keep on motivating us. So what we do is, there is a library of records. And we pick up those records in our basket and we die. So what are these records? These are nothing but our past lives. Okay. So these are all nothing but past lives. So when I'm coming down here, I need to learn, I need to learn to be brave, courageous. So let's assume I pick up a queen's record, a past life record. So what happens then? As a virus, I get all the karmas of that queen who lived here in the earth realm and died. So I get all those karmas in my basket and I have to resolve those also. But they are the motivational factor to learn my life plan, learn whatever I have planned. So other people can also pick up the same queen. Pala can also pick up the same queen. Yes, she can also pick up the same thing. Many copies of those records people will pick up. And so we all learn. So the question is that really my past life? Who cares whose past life it is? Nobody's actually. They're records. And we have picked it up because we need something out of it. We need to learn using that. And that is why we have picked it up. Okay. That is not important. The story of the past life is not important. What we need to learn from that past life is what is important. And what are the capabilities we pick up from the past lives are important. The talents we pick up are important. We need to concentrate only on that, not the story part. Because many people, this guy was my husband in my past life. So this life also, I need to be with him. So it's not a coincidence. Something has brought us together and they're going to mess up their life. Past life is past life. It's over. It's not even your past life. So you have to be a little aware of what is it, and you have to act like an adult, knowing what it is, right? Okay. So the spirit self is all of that which you have gathered in this lifetime as the materialistic, even spiritual also, but it is very much related to the life which was spent here. And it is also the life which is very much required on the earth. Okay? Which may not be required for the higher self. Like earning money or enjoying something. All that may not be relevant for the higher self. So it's very earthbound. Okay? So that is what is spirit. But everything is connected to higher self. So we have a connection to the higher self in any case. And so we can all channelize or get those things which are related to the higher self and even above the higher self also. Everything is in you. Okay? So anyone has any question here?
Isha, I have a question.
Okay, Kavita.
You said that a part of Ram went upstairs and came down again to learn some lesson. And a part of it remained and again wanted to come back and learn some more lesson. So that means Ram got incarnated as two other human beings, right?
Either way it is possible. These are all possibilities.
But that means, like my soul is not indivisible. It can be divided. They can be
It can be.
multiple of me.
It can be.
Acha.
In this level, it's the 5th dimension or the 4th dimension. This is 4th dimension. This is dimension. When you're looking at it, there is no timeline there. Timeline is only in the earth realm.
No, that's fine. But I can be born as multiple me's. Like my soul can be divided.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And may not have any connection also. But may have connection also because you have one single higher self.
So they can be Kavita 1, Kavita 2, Kavita 3, Kavita 4, different parts of me
Parallel
at different
lives.
places. Huh?
Like parallel lives.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it?
Got it. And then you are saying I can also pick up different astral records from different places. So I can be Cleopatra also, Queen Elizabeth also.
Yeah, you can. You
Okay.
will be. Because of whatever you need to achieve, you picked up all of these records in you as past lives.
Okay. Fine. This is very complicated. This is very much multidimensional. Okay.
When you start thinking about it, all that which you have learned will fit into this model.
Okay.
So think about it. Keep thinking about it. And then you realize, now I understand what's happening, kind of a thing. Okay?
Okay.
Asanya, when must we connect with what is the reason we must connect with the higher self when we are in the earth plane?
Because that's what you are.
The capability, talent, the kind of things, is it?
No, higher self is where your actual soul is. Your actual soul is the higher self.
Oh.
And a chunk of it has come down as Pala.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So that little chunk which is having the earthly experiences is the spirit.
So normally when we meditate, they say connect with the higher self, connect with the higher self.
You can
That means
connect
what?
with, yes, you are connecting with your own self, which has the blueprint, which knows your life plan, which knows what you planned before you came to this Pala.
Oh, that means the higher self will guide the soul at the lower plane, right?
Higher self, say it again.
The higher self will start when we connect. The higher self will connect, will guide for example, Ram at the lower plane, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Higher
okay.
self is first of all always connected to you. It is always in you. Okay.
Okay.
But
Now
we don't understand that. We don't understand that. And
All
when
right.
we connect to ourselves, then we realize about the higher self. And higher self is always guiding you. It has your back.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think now more clear. Thank you.
And to understand that my higher self has my back, we need to get connected to it and get the answers from there, because that knows everything of in and out, past, future, whatever you call it. Higher self has it. Higher self also knows why you have come on the earth. What's your learning supposed to be learning? Everything higher self knows. Okay.
Isha, I'm a little confused. See, in Bhagavad Gita, they said soul is indivisible, right? Now you are saying soul can be divided.
You're looking at as if it's torn and given to Kavita and torn given to another person. Do not think like that. You're all engulfed by it.
Right.
Then where are you tearing it? You're part of it.
Okay.
But you are one experience and someone else is another experience of that soul.
Hmm.
You got it?
Not really.
You are
Yeah.
looking at, you're making yourself separate. That's why is the problem. When you are not separate, you are all one. You are one, you are higher self, you are all Kavita 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All one. And you are all experiencing one sheet of a book, big book.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay? Understood? Okay.
Little.
Understood. Digest it little later. Another thing, when Ram dies, if he very nicely retrospect his life and goes up, then he will submit his experience of Ram into the records and he goes up. So that someone else can use Ram's experience. Okay? Okay, so let's stop sharing and let's get into doing some bit about the intuitions part. Now let's see. So what is intuition? We read about now, we thought about spirit part and all that. What is this intuition? It's more of a question answer and understanding work today and a bit of feeling the intuition. Okay, but it'll be fun. Tell me, what is intuition for each of you? Go ahead. Your experience is there. Don't tell me what your yes, Rama, whatever we spoke is about karmic stuff, parallel lives and all of that. That's where I said all your theories will fit into this model. Okay, go ahead, guys. Tell me what is your intuition. What you think is intuition? Ritika, raise the hand.
It's an feeling, something that is like a guidance, but it may come in very, very random forms. And so you can't explain how, you got this idea or thought, but you just feel that it's a guidance.
Okay. Next, Kavita.
According to me, it is some kind of an inner wisdom.
Okay, that is also possible. Rama says intuition means premonition and precognition, cognitive. Yes, it is. But
it is instinct which just suddenly comes and without any reasoning or anything, it just comes. It's from inside, just an instinct which just suddenly pops up.
Okay, Payal. Anyone else feel anything?
Yeah, I feel that
deja vu.
Deja vu is a little different. Okay, deja vu is definitely there, but deja vu is part of the spirit self, but it's not an instinct. Inner feeling, inner calling, inner feeling. Okay, yeah, inner feeling. Pala.
Yeah, I feel that, intuition comes about strongly when, when you are connected. That means when you raise your vibration, when you're very low consciousness, you will not get intuition. When you raise your vibration, when you start connecting with the divine, that means through the spirit, something, the knowingness, that something going to happen on the knowingness is intuition.
Yeah, that is also. But there are various varieties, Pala. We'll come to that. Tripti.
Same, Isha, knowing something is going to happen, like you get that feeling and the thoughts come into your mind before something happens.
Okay, so what I would like, this is again my theory, my feeling, and you may resonate or maybe I'm a little wrong, but I'm sure I'm not right. I'm part of it at least, right? Because all of us are right here. Yeah, gut feeling, Gauri, true. The thing is, intuition is not just suddenly something come out from nowhere and telling you something. Intuition can be, it's like called for. You ask a question and you get an answer also is intuition. It is not always coming suddenly, one Ashari Ravani coming and telling you something to do. No, that is not exactly intuition. That's part of the intuition. Okay, yeah, connected to higher self is again part of the intuition. But you have wisdom and you have awareness. Okay, these two are two different things. Awareness and wisdom are two different things. Wisdom is like a knowledge base. Awareness is when to use that. What is the right thing to do is awareness. When these two things match, something which is not logically connected will come up. And it may be logic also. By chance, it will be connected logically. But mostly it is not related to logic. Okay? That is what is intuition. And intuition can be serving you well most of the time because that's so much innermost of you. So intuition is never to derail you or never to harm you or anything, because intuition is your own self, deeper self, inner self. So it's an inner knowing. And most of the time we do not follow it and we doubt it and we do just the opposite or something and we call probably, my intuitions are always wrong, you know, because your context could be wrong. You didn't put yourself in the right context where that intuition was right. You understood, right? So intuition can be anything. It is just, it's very easy. Next question I will ask. How many of you think intuition is very difficult and you don't have?
We have it, but we don't follow it because the mind takes over the heart, you know, at that time.
Okay, so you believe that you have it.
Yeah, we have it, but especially when you play cards, you know, then you know this is the right thing, this is the right move. You don't do it logically, you don't do it. But then you realize, you know, you made a mistake here. The whole game is gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is how I check my intuitions.
Correct. That is part of your intuition. Intuition is you actually. And we don't believe ourselves because we need logic. And since there is no logic, we don't believe it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, there are many healers, card readers, and so many other people here, and non-healers and non-other people also are here, right? But I'm sure all of you have experienced that intuition or you've used your intuition. Can you people give few examples so that others also will understand what is an intuition or how it can be used?
Maybe I share one. Just 2 days back, I went for a wedding. After that, I'm supposed to go and see my mother. So my husband said, let's go together and meet. Then something tells me, no, it's something not correct. You know, I got this intuition, something not correct. Probably somebody is not well. And true enough, I didn't go. But we came home. Then the night, my sister called and told me that she has COVID.
Yeah, that's a classic example of intuition. Okay, now if you realize that it's because of your mother and it is so very connected to you, okay, intuitions are high. Now the challenge comes when you are trying to find using your intuition something for others. Okay, that's next step, but it will happen. For that you have to start believing yourself. You have to start believing your intuition cannot be wrong. And when several such incidents happen, you know when to believe your intuition and when your mind is coming in between, you'll know. That is the point we all strive for. And that is what we feel it's difficult. But otherwise, intuition is very easy. That point you have to understand. What is that which mind is playing? What is that which is not? That point is what we need to identify. Okay, Ritika.
Yeah, even I wanted to share actually, and it just reminded me, since she said she'd gone to see her mother, when I was 10 years old and my mother was actually traveling to Bombay. And I just remember that morning so vividly. It was just something that was off, something that was weird. And I can't explain what I felt. But it was a very, very different feeling. And she walked from my place to my neighbor's, my auntie's house, which is down the road. And I stood at the gate, and my gaze was fixed at her until she could get out of my sight. And yeah, after that they left. They had gone to Bombay, and then on the way back is when they met with an accident and my mother passed away. But all I was trying to say is that, like, that intuition, it's just, you can't explain it, but you just know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And especially children are very good at it. Very, very good at it. Yeah, that's true, Ritika. Someone asked, who's that? Rama says, is intuition fixed? First of all, I didn't understand the question, but intuition is never fixed. Now, what is the question? What do you mean by fixed? Okay. While Rama types and tells us, I will tell you my experience, very latest experience.
Like, can you, the intuition, what is going to happen only is going to come as an intuition, isn't it?
Not necessary. That's where I said.
Or can you, you can finger around with the intuition itself?
Yeah. Intuition is something which, like a thought comes to your head. It neither be what's going to happen, soon, or it can be that also, or it can be understanding of the past, why it happened. It can be wisdom. It can be any of that. I'll just give an example how one of the things.
No, but intuition is a wisdom. So that means there is truth in that, isn't it?
What is wisdom? Wisdom is just some experiences and some thoughts, right? So ultimately that's what it is. Let me just give you this example. How I have used very, very recently my intuition, or how I usually use these things also. More than randomly they're coming, I also use for my own work. The other day, last week, my daughter kept her mobile somewhere. And charge was not there, I think. So it was totally off. Now, as usual, now we need the mobile. Now, so we started retracing back. When was the last time we saw that? She said 2 days back, she was messaging her friend in the night at 10. So that means it's inside the house. One relief. Okay. But where? You can call it. We have searched every room and we can't get it. Okay. So when I don't have anything for my help, I have my own things, like I take my pendulum and go room by room. And at that time, I make sure that nobody is around me, because I can't keep taking their taunting comments about what I do. So I just kind of quiet myself, and I just tell myself that I go with this pendulum no matter what. And blank mind, I keep going with the pendulum. For some reason, it led me to this room where I do the therapy. Okay, so I came here. And I was very sure there's hardly anything here other than a table and a laptop and my stuff. But there is a reason why it led me here, right? I found my radical book. I just took the radical book and I opened a message for me. It said, flow with the flow of life. So I was thinking, where am I stuck? Where am I not flowing properly in my life? And then I thought about my daughter, she being in 12th, and something related to where she'll join is repeatedly, I am stuck there. something happen rather than allowing something to flow. Okay. So I kept telling myself that I flow with the flow of my life. And I kept saying that, and I started again. Where is it? It led me to the bedroom. Now, bedroom has an attached toilet and it has a walk-in wardrobe. So I stood in the middle of the bedroom. I closed my eyes and I said, I want to see where it is. I saw a part of the walk-in wardrobe in the middle of some shirts. I went there and it was there. What I'm saying is, this is how your intuition can be, provided you believe it. You calm your mind totally. And then it also led me to read that thing, right? It took. So what happened was, what I am trying to say here is, I needed to pay attention to something in myself, which is related to my daughter joining somewhere and what I am doing in my life. For that reason, your mobile will be hidden somewhere and you will discover it. Isn't that the wisdom? Isn't that the question and answer you did? Isn't that something which suddenly came out of nowhere, I coming down here to this room and reading it? It's a mixture of all. Yes, Geeta. You can hear the recording later, Geeta. Okay. So if anybody asks you intuition, you can at the most say which comes inside your head or you just feel it. More than that, it's very difficult to say what it is. Right? But it is very deeper inside you, which will guide you always. That much is for sure. You can.
Sometimes they call it nudge, right?
What is that?
My question was, Rama here. My question was,
go ahead.
Can intuition be changed?
Intuition.
In the sense, supposing you have an intuition that such a thing is not going to happen.
But then happens.
And can you change it? Is there that's what I said, is intuition fixed?
It's not fixed. You can change it. Because that
how is it possible?
Intuition is based on currently
only your thought, your dynamic thought.
Yes, and you can change your thought. You can change anything in your life, Rama. Everything is not fixed. Everything is changeable.
Supposing you have an intuition in a cricket match that one team is going to win. You can always change your intuition to make the other team win.
The thing is, that is not related to you. That is related to people who are playing there.
Okay. So you can do more things only totally related to you.
The more it is in your own court, the more is
in your own control. Yeah.
You can do that. And if you contribute to the collective consciousness, then bigger things can be changed too.
So is it anyhow, anywhere overlapping on positive thinking or power of thought? Or
it's all about thoughts. Okay. I could have just sat there and thought about what my daughter should join, how my take should be. Then probably this mobile wouldn't have lost. We create situations in our life so that we'll learn out of it. You got it, what I'm saying? Everything is created by us. Okay, so we talked a lot about intuition. Let's experience them. They're very simple and easy. Okay, so I'm just going to do a small little experience for all of you. And that's exactly what is intuition. And this also will tell you whether you're clairvoyant or clairsentience or whatever other few things, other clairs, which will tell you how you sense your intuition. For me, it's visual. Okay, any question?
Ishani, I had a question. When you said to someone while giving an example that children are very intuitive. Assuming that obviously when I was a child, even I was very intuitive. Do we believe to not be intuitive when we grow up? Because I was very intuitive. I had an experience where I was very intuitive about the people around me. I used to quickly say about them, saying that, he's a good uncle, he's not a good uncle, he's a bad uncle, or something of that sort. And I had very valid reasons for it, which obviously came true later on, even without me knowing it. But do we choose to leave that while we grow up?
Yes, of course. One is our surroundings teach us, okay, how, that's what we call as being adults. They teach us how we should behave, what is truth for everybody. Because first of all, there is no good, bad. And based on one situation, one personality of this uncle, you would have called it as a bad uncle. And it may not go well. So all of these things will teach us not to speak. But what we do is we mistake that to shut our intuition. You can still have your intuition, but will you act on the intuition? You may not have to, because it's each one's learning. So you rather keep your mouth shut and just understand that this is what it is, and only take care of yourself using your intuition. You don't have to do for anyone else, even if they're dying. I had, when I was doing the level 3 clinical hypnotherapy, there was one guy who was an engineering student. He said he gets this dreams of people dying, and very clearly he knows who is going to die and how. So since he was a child, he started going and telling them, calling up to be careful, etc., etc. Now he did with a good intention, but what happened? If he calls or if he shows up, people will say that he brings death. So he was literally made to feel terrible, and he started feeling, why do I have this ability? Right? So as an adult, he will shut it off. And whatever important good things, abilities he has in that, he lost it. So this is how it is. So as an adult, we need to learn that I have this capability and I save it so that nobody knows. I hide it so nobody knows, but then I make use of it. That should be the way. That's what you should teach your children. Never kill their intuition. Okay, so let's do this small little process to understand your own intuition. Okay. Yeah. So all of you sit comfortably in a place which is comfortable. Anyway, that's where you're sitting right now. Look at a point in front of you on the wall. Just keep observing that. Calm yourself down. Only concentrate on the point and observe your breathing. And in your next breath, gently close your eyes. And just be behind your eyes. Look at the eyelids, the center of the head. And just tell yourself, relax. Completely relax. For 3 minutes, do not think about your work, people, to-do list, nothing. Just 3 minutes. Just keep seeing the word relax. Calm down. Relax. Relax. And relax. Now, wherever you're sitting, it's a peaceful room for you. And you're listening to my voice and only my voice. Everything in the background, whatever is there in the background, is only going to push you further down into your relaxation. So, whatever sound you hear in the background, other than my voice, is going to make you even more relaxed. In this most relaxed space of yours, think of a restaurant or a cafe or some place you like so much. Or once you had gone and you felt good about it. Think about that. And imagine that you are there right now. You are standing there. And maybe there are some chairs. Look around and I want you to identify what are there. Furnitures, objects, people. How does this place feel for you? How is the weather, environment? Is cold, hot, noisy? And now just look around. Do you see anything there? Do you know where the menu is kept? Do you know the people there? What did you have last time there? Look at the same thing which you ordered last time. How does it look? How does it smell like? Taste like? Taste it now in your tongue and see how it tastes now. And also feel it. Is it crunchy, hot, cold? Is it enjoyable? Do you feel nice now about it? Feel everything now. Also, notice few more things which you had not noticed then. Maybe about some people. Maybe you're seeing something which you didn't see at that time. A thought. Something which is important for you, which is related to that cafe, restaurant. Something which is very important that you cannot forget. Or somebody who is important for you. And why is that? Make a note of it in your mind. Now, imagine another favorite place of yours where you had lived in your life at some point. Look at that, imagine, feel it. What is the color you are seeing there? What does the floor look like? Carpet, wood, tile? Imagine you are standing there now. What was the favorite place in that place? Stand there and feel, how does it feel now? Do you feel anything? Do you remember anything very distinct? Why it is so distinct? Notice few things which you had not noticed there before. Some meaning of that place, some memory of that place, some people of that place. Something important for you. Maybe something which you need to do with that place. Now, imagine a future occasion, situation. It's a beautiful location in the nature. Just imagine, totally imagine. What do you see around there? You're standing there. What do you see around You there. What objects are there? What things are there around you? Can you feel the sun or not? Wind, water on your skin by any chance? That tells you where you are. Is there anything to read there? Can you read? Something to read, like a board or a book or something which will tell you where you are. How does it smell like? How do you feel being there? What is your emotion when you're standing there? Go ahead and ask yourself, where is this place? Do you get any answer? Now imagine a very good friend of you being with you there in that place. How does it feel to be with this friend or your partner or anybody? Just observe how they are looking at you and smiling. What do you gather from that? How do you feel about them? What's that telling you? Something is coming to your mind? What are you imagining that you're thinking in that moment? If they are talking to you, what do you think they are telling you? What would they probably say to you? Also, find out few more things which take your attention there. Some details. Maybe the date somewhere you're seeing, the time, or anything else. Some details of that time and place. Now, bring your attention to the room where you're sitting right now. With your closed eyes, sense the room all around you. Just sense the walls around you in the room. And also, can you see and visualize the objects around you? The details of the objects? Is this more real for you than the other places you just now visited? How is it different from that? Now slowly come to the center of your head again. And you're behind your eyelids. You know that you are imagining all of this. Take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. Okay, so all of you can switch on your mobile cameras, not mobile cameras if possible, okay? Now, how was your imagination? Were you able to imagine? Were you able to feel some few things? Were you able to gather? Yeah, Akshata. Very clear imagination means that you can actually very clearly get the intuitions. Possible, because there is nothing called imagination, okay? They're all experienced at some level, somewhere. If it's clear, That means your intuitions are also clear. And did you notice anything which actually in reality was not there? Okay. When I was doing this in the cafe which I entered, there was a pirate sitting on the counter and drinking coffee. And I was wondering, how is this possible? Because it was not there. I don't remember what happened further, but this is how it is. You can definitely see a lot of things which in the reality which you wouldn't have observed. Okay. And another thing is, you can do the same exercise with open eye. Actually, it will be even more deeper. And that is when you can, I'm sure I saw this kind of a feeling will come to you. Okay, so basically you don't go mad. You should be understanding that these are the intuitions. And if you don't want to see them, you don't want to see them. That's also possible. It's like controlling everything of yours. So what was easy for you? Going back in the past and figuring out was easy, or the future imagination was easy for you, or the present, looking, feeling around the room was easy for you?
Present and past were very, very easy. Future was also okay, I mean, I went to Vegas and was watching those Venetian, I mean, those, what do you say, those talking waterfalls, that lit waterfalls with my friend. So, that was okay. I mean, I could visualize that feeling.
Now, whether really you will go there, we don't know. That's where
we don't know.
That's where it's because intuitions are never exactly, precisely giving you the date and the specifics of the images you are seeing. They give you indication. And you'll think, oh my gosh, wasn't it? This is what I saw. This is a feeling. There's a story behind it, right? It just comes like one jhalak, and then you have a story behind it. That story.
When it happens, it will be deja vu.
Yeah, if it happens, then it is like a deja vu.
Deja vu. Okay.
Correct. Deja vu is more of you stand there and then you think that, hey, I've seen it somewhere else.
Yeah.
More like stand in the future and thinking about, I have seen it definitely somewhere else. Like even before I have had a premonition of this. That is deja vu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be like spending time with your friend, something, talking about it could be the intuition. Not necessarily going there. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So it's all, it's what your mind shows, and you better believe it. Believe the emotions, believe the feeling behind it. Right? That's how it is. Okay, anybody has any question? Otherwise, we're done with it.
We'll continue it further, na, Isha? Because there's so much to intuition.
Yes, of course. There is so much more in the, that's what I said, in the coming, because there is so much difference between intuition and channeling. So many things are there. So we will do for a couple of weeks. Okay, we will explore.
The first thought is what I heard before, somebody told me, the first thought is intuition. Subsequently, when you ponder about it, the mind starts working, then it's no more intuition. Then the mind will click.
You will put logic and then you spoil it totally. That's why even in psychology, the questionnaire, when they give you, they'll tell you not to think anything. And what comes first, you have to answer it. Even when we are doing therapy, we say that first image, first thought, first feeling. That's what it is. That's what matters. Afterwards, logic, immediately mind will jump into it and give logic and say, hey, that's not it is. Just keep quiet. I didn't see anything is what we say. But you would have seen something, you always see. Mind cannot be empty, by the way. Yeah. Anyone
And
else?
more to do with it, it is to in real life scenarios, as you said, we probably put logic first to our intuition to counter attack it.
Yes.
But at the end, we say that it is just an intuition. I mean, in work, in our jobs as well, we are taught to give a number while we are negotiating, and that number has to be very intuitive. It cannot have a logic to it.
Yeah, but then see, whenever you're making a decision, especially what you need to do is, this is what I follow, and this is the best way of following. First, have a logical reasoning for your decisions. A, B, C, these are the solutions. Why? I have a reason. A has this reason, that is why this is number one solution. B has this, and these are the probably problems in it. But okay, yeah, this is B. So you had a very logical explanation. Now look at A, B, C. Intuitively, what do you feel? That will be the best solution.
Correct. Yep.
And that will always work for you. Okay. So girls and ladies and gentlemen, we are done. Any more
So
questions?
sometimes they call intuition a nudge is also right.
What does it say it again? I didn't get it.
A nudge. The nudge is called intuition, is it? Another word they call every time I have a nudge. It's called intuition, is it?
Can you spell it out for me?
Nudge, I think. Nudge.
No, Pala. Maybe.
Oh.
Gut feeling is definitely your intuition. We always say that it comes from the gut, not from your heart or your head. Okay? And true to say that, like how Akshata said, you have so many decisions. Hold your hand on the gut. Look at one decision and see what your gut says. Gur, 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 something. Okay, that's not for me. Then the second one, yeah, it is true. Please go with your gut. Gut tells you a lot of things. That is why it's called gut feeling.
Isha, somebody told me earlier, a long time back, there was a discussion on intuition. It's better to listen to your heart or to your mind. So mind, or so the gut, the intuition or your logical mind. So what he said was that if your mind is saying something, you tell your mind shut up. But your heart is telling you something. Tell your mind heart to shut up. Still tells you again shut up. 3-4 times you tell it shut up, but still it's telling you, then go with it. Is it the right approach?
You can try that, but we usually jump into action. And logic is what we always buy into. Right? So my way of doing it is definitely I go with the logic, but then because if I have logically come to a conclusion, I can explain that to others. How can I explain my intuition to others? Right? I prepare myself logically with whatever as what I want to decide or something. Okay. And then I will check with my intuition whether which is that I should take it, which is right for me.
So how do you do that? Check it with your intuition.
I told you, put your hand on your gut and feel how it feels.
Okay.
Or some people use the swaying of the body talk they do. So, everyone has their own, sometimes when you look at it, you'll know, right? That is also there. Some people get visions of good things and they think that's how it is. Some people use it, they close their mind and use color. Red is no, green is yes. So they check that also. But for all of these things, you would have programmed your mind for that. Then you can believe your mind. So that's where I'm saying some of your intuition, how they come to you, if you know, then you will believe it.
I do it with crows and eagles. If I have to get an answer, if I see a crow, then it's a definite no. And if it's an eagle, it's a definite yes.
Absolutely. I do with my cards. Yes or no. Okay, so many things are there. What's for your mind, you do that. Nothing is wrong.
I'm always wrong with that eagle also.
No, it's fine. Everything is fine. And sometimes you don't have to use any of this yes or no. You know it, right? You know it. And that's it. You just do that. The penalty should not be high. That's the whole point. That is where we keep cross-checking. That is all it is. Okay? It was nice today. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you so
week,
much.
next-
Thank you.
Bye, all of you. Take care.